Okay, you've done your drawing, you've stretched your paper, and we'll get straight in with some raw sienna, just creating a light patch around the tree. Just drop it in. Once you've dropped that in, with a mix of burnt sienna, alizarin crimson and ultramarine blue, we'll create a misty background. Just wipe it in. Pull it down. Just a little on the bottom. Just let it spread over the paper. Strengthen it up in some areas just to give it a bit of variation. Not too much around this tree because you want it to stand out. Then you need to let this dry so the shine has just gone off the paper. Now the shine has gone off the paper, I've just put in some raw sienna on both sides of the riverbanks and just dropped in some cadmium yellow. For your misty trees, wherever you feel like you need one, a stronger version of the sky colour, and just drop them in. This is a number 1 Daler-Rowney Rigger Rush. Take them out of the page. Same on the other side. You could make these a little bit bigger. Just give them some rough bark edges. Just let it drift where it wants to go. Maybe another one here. And this is a great way to simplify a background without putting too much detail in. Maybe one just there, I think. One at the end here. Down. And if your paper's gone a little bit dry, just take some water and your brush, soften it off. Then whilst this is drying, turn your attention to the bank and we can drop in some green made from cadmium yellow, ultramarine blue and a touch of crimson, just to take the glare out of it. Just drop it in both sides, no need to worry. Then with a stronger mix, the same colour, just with a bit more blue in it, you can just strengthen it up, only in places, not everywhere. It doesn't matter if it goes into your bridge. We're going to bleed it into the bridge shortly. Add a little bit of water, soften it into your bridge so that the colours dissipate and get to mingle. And we're going to re-wet this bridge when all your colours are dry. Just let it mingle into your dark background wash and leave that to dry. When your background is dry, just re-wet the bridge area here. Just drop in some yellow ochre, bring it down into your grassy area and just let it fuse to the ground. While it's still wet, you drop in some more colours. This is burnt sienna with a touch of alizarin, with a touch of ultramarine. Sorry. Just drop it round the stones anywhere you think it needs it. I'll leave that entirely up to you. Round the bushes. Bring that into the ground as well. And while it's still wet, with a stronger mix of ultramarine and burnt sienna, drop like a very dark grey in. And just let it all mingle. Then with a dark mix of burnt umber, ultramarine, with a little cadmium yellow. Just let that drop in now. Darken it round. Bring it round the bushes. Around here. Touch more there. Then you can leave that to dry. Then with a strong mix of your sky colour, we can do this tree here. Put the trunks in, start there. And once you've got your trunks in, you can turn your board round. Start to put in the branches. Just soften off at the bottom. Just attaches into the ground. Turn your board round. Once you've turned your board round, you can get to work on the tops of your trees. I'll just do a few, just to save time, and you can do as many as you wish. Just let your rigger brush dance round. I'll stop there, you can continue. Then with a really dark mix of the green, you can begin to put this tree in here. This is a real strong mix. It's burnt sienna, ultramarine some cadmium yellow, and we'll just put the tree trunk in. Then with the same method as putting these two trees in, you put your branches on, and whilst that is still wet, I'm going to drop in a strong dark side, which is ultramarine, burnt umber, and just a touch of Prussian blue to get it really dark. Go back to your green. You can put your handrail on with the same colour as the dark mixture of green. It's almost like a black green. Helps if you've got a good steady hand. And leave that to dry. So once you've done your tree and you go to the other side and you do the same with a little bush here, we'll put the underneath shadow under the bridge. This is a mixture of burnt umber, ultramarine, then at the same time with your sky colour mix, only a weaker wash, put your rocks in. I'll just do a couple just to show you. Just darken one edge. Just let it all bleed together. Then whilst that is still wet, drop some yellow ochre in. Soften them off at the bottom. Just lift a bit of the paint out, just to create a highlight. And then do the same to all of them. Once you put your rocks in, you soften them off at the bottom. Get a weak mix of ultramarine and burnt sienna. Bring it under the bridge. And I've also used a wax method where I put the wind streaks in beforehand there. And you can begin to strengthen that up. Parts on the bottom there, underneath there, and with a touch of burnt umber added to the mix, you can start to think where the deep pools would be. Depth on there, I think. Just pull it through. Same under the bridge. Just create a dark shadow. Where the bridge the strokes there. And then with a damp brush Packhorse on its side, pull it down the waterfall, just making it look as if it's tumbling. Strengthen it up with a bit of ultramarine. Not too much. You only need to indicate it that the water's falling. And once you've done that, with the dark green around the bushes, just give it the dry brush technique. Just to add a little touch more interest to it, and possibly a few dark grasses. Same on this side. Then once you've done that, you can sign it and frame it. Thank you. Once you've signed it, I'll put a few more grasses in between the rocks so you can see them. Just adds a little bit more interest in the foreground, and that's it. Thank you very much for watching.